So, Frick and Frack are back, and I have questions. So what brings me to your screens today is, I've been on IG and I follow the girls, Porsha and Phaedra, and I see that they're back. And they're back like they never left, and literally they're back like they never went through that shit in season 9. And that's kind of what brings me here today, because I want to talk about this revival that they're having post season 9. And what would you call that? Is it the drugging gate? Phaedra gate? Kandi gate? Porsha gate? I don't know, y'all, but I'm just gonna call it season 9. So in season 9, we all know Phaedra had a bad falling out with Kandi. She enlisted Porsha to basically go and drop a dime in Kandi's ear. Kandi planned on taking Porsha down to a dungeon, a sex dungeon, drugging her, and Kandi and Todd having their way with Porsha, basically. Now, when season 9 reunion came down, we found out it was a total and complete lie, according to Kandi. And the reason why I had to say according to Kandi is because I feel like we haven't really gotten more on this story since season 9 ended. I mean, when season 10 started, it was all out war on Porsha, but I don't feel like we ever really got to dive deeper into it because Phaedra left the show. Or better yet, they all refused to film with Phaedra. And, that's just a bunch of virtue signaling bullshit while I'm on it. Because, for one, to have Phaedra back now in, season 16, but acting like you guys were so offended in season 9 that she couldn't come back. I mean, I understand from Kandi's point of view being like, I don't trust this woman. I don't want to film with her, blah, 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 blah. But from a viewer's perspective, and I mean purely from a viewer's perspective, Phaedra would have been 10 times more interesting post season 9 than she will be on season 16. I don't care what wig she's wearing, what she's done to her body, how much skin she's showing, and how much she's siphoning off Porsha's energy. She would have been 10 times more interesting as herself post season 9. So basically season 10. So first note, I wonder what the phone call was that got Frick and Frack back together again. What was said for Porsha to be like, okay, yeah, you lied to me, then proceeded to set me up to look like a fool, but no worries, we cool. I don't know, because at the season 9 reunion, everybody knows Porsha was in tears, honey. She was boo-hooing. It was easy for her to play that, oh, I was manipulated card. But were you really manipulated if y'all are back cool now? Yeah, first note, I wonder what the phone call was that got these two back together. Like, did we come to a conclusion on why it was wrong for Phaedra to do what she did, why it was wrong for Porsha to carry the bone, why, they ended up in hot water in the first place? Second, is this a real revival? Or is this just for season 16? I honestly feel like Porsha and Phaedra are real friends. But I feel like they're friends as long as the tempo is right. But me saying that is, again, from a viewer's perspective. Because back to question 1, I don't know what the phone call was, had post season 9 reunion, heading into season 16, what they've been talking about over the years to make it so that they can be back cool now. On the outside looking in, to me, it appears that they're friends as long as the tempo is right. And when I say it seems like they're real friends, I do genuinely think they enjoy each other. They love being around each other. I don't believe they talk behind each other's backs. I feel like there's nothing bad the other has to say about the other. I feel like they like each other. But I feel like if something ever went wrong and the relationship was no longer convenient, and listen, I've already chronicled Phaedra. Y'all know how Phaedra do. She throwing up the deuces. She ain't wasting no fucking time. But yeah, on both ends, I feel like if the relationship stopped being convenient, then both would kind of be like, okay, catch you on the flip side. I don't know. But these people, they're not mad at each other anymore. They're cool. That's fine. I'm just confused because, again, if Phaedra could have stayed on, Kandi didn't have to film with Phaedra, right? But if we could have gotten Phaedra post season 9 and had that, but instead we said no because it doesn't feel right with Kandi, now fast forward all these years later and everything is cool again. And the same women who said no before are all of a sudden willing to film with Phaedra again. So why? Why? I want to know the conversation that was had, and I want to know if when we head into season 16, are they going to talk about this? Because if they not, y'all can keep that shit on the playground. We're not dumb, and the fourth wall was broken with reality TV a very long time ago. So I feel like the viewers are owed an explanation of how all of you were able to reconcile with Phaedra after what happened last time. Now, I'll tell you one thing. She gets on that goddamn TV, and if she's in her confessional, acting like And we're not going to talk about that. You know, the same shit she tried to pull with Married to Medicine, wasting everybody's time on that cast because she brings nothing to that cast. Not that she doesn't have anything going on, not that she's not funny, shady, whatever. She brings nothing to that cast in that particular dynamic. She was so obviously implanted there, and I don't like it, and it ruined the entire tempo of the show. But I'm off Married to Medicine, and now I'm back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. If she comes acting like she doesn't want to talk about that, acting like you either need to say I did something wrong or I stand on what I did. I don't know, but I need something. No way they're just gonna let her come back on the show and we not gonna talk about it.
I don't know about this hoe. We all know Phaedra full of shit, okay? She know that I know that she know that I know that she full of shit.
On that note, if what Phaedra said is true, as in she got the information secondhand, who she got the information from? To me, that would be the only way to explain why, you know, everything is kind of going back to normal. If it came out, oh, Phaedra did actually get the second hand and this person told her this and they handled it on the back end. To me, that's the only thing that made sense. If that's the case, who started the rumor and who told Phaedra this? Does Kandi know? Does Porsha know? And is that why, you know, we're all kumbayaing around the fire? I don't know. And then there's the other option, which most people think that Phaedra completely and totally made it all up. And I think my deep dive kind of helped you to see why her making it all up on her own may be more plausible, because it is rumored, it is alleged that Phaedra herself had a sex dungeon in one of her homes maybe around like 20 years ago. They're saying, I'm not telling you who's saying what, okay? If you want more information, go check out my previous videos, okay? They said that Phaedra had a sex dungeon in her home. And so it is plausible to think that if she was a pissed off Scorpio, she, you know, connected some dots and boom, there goes a story of Kandi and a sex dungeon. I just don't understand why we're all cool with that now and why we couldn't have been cool with it way back when the viewers could have actually gotten like some real deal like conflict on screen, you know, and not that little made up shit that they be doing. Another note, Porsha is, I think, obviously taking center peach. Porsha is Queen Bee, I think, heading into season 16. I say I think because, obviously, I don't know what the season is going to be like. But all I can say is that I'm so happy to see Porsha kind of rising up. Like I told y'all earlier, in season 10, they were at Porsha's neck. Porsha couldn't get a fucking word out with, what you did to Kandi. You didn't say that when you did that to Kandi. You know, all that shit. They would not let that go at all. But she stuck it out. She kept going. She rose above. And now Porsha is that girl of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But yeah, I think that's really cool, and I think it's even more of a reason for them to address the things I'm talking about in this video as it relates to season 9 gate. I'm gonna need them to wrap that up, because if you think about it, the storyline is still kind of open. Porsha and Kandi reconciled because I think Porsha apologized a lot. Kandi got over it, and you know, obviously Porsha wasn't like the ringleader. She didn't just come up with this out of her ass, though she did carry the bone. Her and Kandi got back cool, you know, and I really think it's just because Kandi, they were all treating like Porsha like she was like a doe-eyed dummy around that time, and I hope the girls have realized that Porsha is more smart than, you know, we want to give her credit for, and that she lets on. She's a lot smarter than she lets on. This is something that I think that they need to tie up because it's still an open-ended storyline. Porsha and Kandi are cool, and we saw that, but we didn't get to see Phaedra and Kandi reconcile, and we did not get to see Porsha and Phaedra reconcile. Obviously, they're likely going to be shooting a lot of scenes together this season, and so I hope that's something that they plan on addressing, and if not, I'm going to address it.